Hello, my dear friend. Welcome back. Day number 14 is today. And yes, it's very nice seeing you again in my tea garden. Thank you for everything so far. As already pre-announced, today we're going to leave Switzerland behind and we're going to be traveling to New York. We got here some skyline. It is probably not New York as we can tell, but it doesn't matter. We got a city feel here in the tea garden. Yes, I would love to start off today with how we left off with the quotes of Oprah and Steve Jobs, which I really love, and I think they're really so spot on and deserve a repetition or the opening act on our second act, New York. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. We will find out more soon what will be happening in New York City and so forth. All right, let's go find the line. Let's place you. Yes. Okay, like this. I like it. Okay, Oprah, what did she say? Oprah once said, "Follow your heart's desires. It will lead you towards your destiny." I believe so truly, really. Your heart knows, as we said that already. Then what Steve Jobs meant or said once in a very powerful speech, "Your time is limited. Do not waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the result of other people's thinking. Do not let the noise of other opinions drown your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary, and that is correct." Thanks again, Oprah and Mr. Jobs. Okay, so now we're going to continue with that. My next adventure in this game called Living on Earth started on Friday, June 2nd, 2006 at around 10 a.m., right one day after my mom's birthday. Happy birthday! This date also marks another important shift on this journey, as my soul found herself about to enter a new sphere existing on a different planet, which in other words also could get expressed as the next level of little Linda's thrilling Living on Earth game adventure at run. Boom. After 3 decades of existing in my beautiful, safe, and peaceful home country, Switzerland, the time for my next big and upgrading challenge finally found its way into my reality, which colorful spectacle, alongside with time, started to unravel itself as an artistic and self-developing boot camp exercise. Oh yeah! Now, in order for it to have its biggest and most effective impact possible on Linda wartenweiler's growth and expansion exploration curiosity, the intense, reckless, and fast pulsating concrete jungle simply seemed to have been the most perfect spot for all the many prior to my soul's arrival set curriculum goals to get achieved in, and this as powerfully as possible. All or nothing, right? Yeehaw, that's right. On this particular June morning, my vessel therefore found itself unknowingly about to embark onto an 8.5-year NYC joyride to where little Linda got presented with the opportunity to peek inside of Pandora's famous magical box, which ingredients revealed themselves as a wonderful yin and yang rounding up match for her already quite preciously Swiss-grown life toolbox collection at hand. Yay! Fun, educational, intense, transformational, wild, expanding, and super interesting. This to me thus far very exceptional Linda Wartenweiler chapter turned out to be. And this with no doubt. Welcome aboard, my fellow co-traveler. Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelt and enjoy our ride. Let's go. New York City, or don't dream your life, live your dream. Let's get really rocked. Yeah, let's go all the way. After spending the whole month of May in my newly gained freedom with my dear roommate Gina, with all my beloved friends, and in my soon old-to-be reality creation, I finally found myself ready and well equipped with 1, my very loyal ex-Swissair travel body, a dark blue Samsonite suitcase, 2, a dark green in 1996 purchased NYC Gap tote bag, 3, a TKB backpack, 4, a from some of my wonderful TKB lady friends gifted Madagascar handbag that featured Melman, the hypochondriac giraffe, 5, with my red and white Swiss passport, 6, 2 one-way British Airways tickets, which included a London transfer, 7, with many thrilling vibrations, and lastly, and most importantly, 8, with my well-produced The Ultimate Childhood Dream head cinema clip standing amongst my mom's, Danny's, and 2 other dear friends' vessels at Zurich's airport. Wow! Soon, very soon, my transitioning from the small apple into the big apple would be completed, and little Linda therefore truly would be finding herself existing within her for decades projected head cinema creation. Pwah! Ha! You probably might be asking yourself still what this small apple, big apple comparison is all about, right? Well, as the most apple growth in Switzerland happens to occur within my beloved root canton, I therefore, alongside our history path, got nicknamed Most Indian, Cider India, by my oh so charming Swiss confederates, which spot from a planetary point of perspective certainly has it appeared to me as New York's small uncle. LOL. That's right. Now, as my lovely support system and I nervously found ourselves in front of the check-in area enjoying the remaining precious minutes as a unit, my eye suddenly came to spot 2 surprising guests, which happened to be the vessels of one, another long-time and dear extended family member of mine, accompanied by 2, her firstborn baby boys. Wow, what an exciting effect their out-of-the-blue appearance simply caused on little Linda's heart, especially as Andy's and my soul lastly connected the night before over the phone. Ha! Surprise! Very grateful I therefore instantly felt about this just granted life opportunity to one more time see and embrace my ex-volleyball team member, travel and dance companion Andy Schätzeli, including cutie boy Lars. Merci, danke, yay! Alongside with my dear friend's arrival, my upcoming next time to say goodbye moment, of course, kept on approaching with every inhaling breath as well. And this reality check definitely left everyone in a quite visible heightened emotional state of mind, especially as this time my vessel's disappearance counted an unknown and never-ending amount of days. Beat, beat, hard beat. Then, as soon as that moment of truth finally arrived for little Linda to start walking on her own again, I quickly found myself hugging each one of my beloved ones for the last time. For now, wished them well and got myself ready to dive right into my newly found must-do project at hand. Let's go! Filled with lots of curiosity and excitement about this ongoing acting dream chapter, my vessel therefore shortly after found itself embarking its old workspace of nearly 2 years, which reality check instantly triggered for my vessel to fill itself with those lovely home sweet home emotions. Once my transition in London was completed, I then got granted the opportunity to sit next to a German uncle and his nephew, who gave me some nice company whilst we all kept shooting through the heavens at the speed of light. Zoom! The flight therefore passed by very quickly, and about 7.5 hours later, our pilot successfully found himself landing the aircraft safe and sound on Newark's tarmac, USA. Yay! Welcomed, we all got by a heavy rainstorm and with lots of wind. Ha! What a warm greeting and start this gesture simply turned out to be. Well, hello, New York. Wink. As the Germans found themselves about to head to Manhattan as well. We therefore decided to share a cab, which provided my soul with some further home company feelings for a little bit longer. Once the two mail vessels stepped outside of their seats, the cab driver then dropped mine off at my new home address on East 13th Street in the East Village, whilst the water still kept on smashing these cats and dogs down on the ground. Quickly, I therefore carried my few belongings and myself to the dry area in front of the apartment building that carried the number that my eyes were looking for. From there, I then reached out to my landlord so that he could let me into the dry hallway and hand me over my own set of keys. Once this exchange successfully got completed, his vessel then vanished as quickly as it appeared, and left I found myself with my last task at hand, moving into my new apartment. Yay! Very soon, though, my soul came to understand as of why my new and gentleman-like landlords happened to be so eager to take off as quickly as he did. The schlepping process of my few belongings all the way up to the 5th floor actually turned itself into a rather heavy-duty, experienced workout, which activity instantly reminded my soul of its then undertaking grabbing, squeezing, and willpower exercise that ended up transporting my vessel from that small bubble into the big earthy one via its only available exit door at hand. Ha! That's right. Here we go again. Wink. Thankfully, the beloved universe sent my vessel about halfway into my schlepping everything up the super steep staircase task, one of my friendly new male neighbors my way, who ended up happily offering his strength to little Linda's rescue. Oof, gratitude. As soon as everything and myself successfully got placed safe and sound in front of my new home sweet home floor, the open sesame moment welcomed my reality as the next action step at hand. And somewhat exhausted, my vessel then finally found itself entering into its new home space located in this newly entered sphere. Hooray! Done. The apple exchanging journey lastly got successfully completed. That's it. Wow! Once inside, my eyes then came across a rather tiny artsy space alongside with the discovery that its advertised living room area somehow vanished. Bummer. After the completion of taking my vessel's newly picked home area of 8 months carefully in, my soul then at some point came to the conclusion that this one-bedroom apartment definitely appeared a lot more spacious online than it did in person. That too, its monthly rent therefore suddenly seemed rather huge for what I actually was purchasing, and this awareness check, as a result, instantly left me with a feeling of having come across a less for more bargain. Oof. Yes, and right in that moment, little Linda warmly got introduced to Big Apple's charming "Welcome to New York City, Miss Fresh Off the Boat" existing reality, which led her to the impulse to end this rather long 2nd of June day with a refreshing shower, followed by some much needed rest. Splash. Good night. A few hours later, right after the lovely sun began its soothing kissing session on my face, my inner voice then suddenly threw my vessel with a loud rise and shine, wake-up call out of my bed. Even though my Nokia screen informed my brain of its early 7 a.m. hour, little Linda certainly felt very excited to for once begin a new day with the birds, as usually she would feel prompted to simply turn sideways again in order to continue her many adventures in Dreamland for at least another 3 hours. Ha! This morning unraveled itself to be different, and my curiosity instead overpowered my still existing melatonin, which led my, with lots of happiness-filled vessel, to jump right out of my quite comfortable bed. New York? Is this really you? Wow! Yes, it really seemed like as if my soul just opened her eyes in my new East Village apartment in Manhattan, and this in real life. In real time. Wow, what? Or was I maybe still dreaming? Well, and the only way of solving this puzzle at hand turned out to be to 1, get ready, and to 2, step onto 13th Street ASAP. Yay! Once I found myself exiting through the front door of my building a few minutes later, my vessel unmistakably found itself standing in the middle of New York City's pulsating vibrations. How incredible this early morning reality check simply felt. Wow. Yes, everything was still vibrating, loud and wild, exactly the way as little Linda remembered it to be, which truth still had her questioning here and there whether this all was true or simply part of one of her oh-so-glorious head cinema productions. Ha! Soon, though, I came to believe that I successfully sneaked my way into my childhood dream, as all the many yellow cabs, the sirens, the honking, the various diverse-looking vessels, the architecture, the car shapes and sizes, the language, and the stores smelled, felt, and sounded so foreign, familiar, and surreal, all in one pulsating magical package. Yes, I made it. This by now slowly started to sink in. Yee-haw! Then, once I fed myself with a yummy and peanut butter covered and toasted everything bagel from the around the corner located David's Bagel Bakery, my soul finally felt ready to dive into her ongrowing with challenges and opportunities filled living on Earth game expansion ride ahead. Concrete jungle, here I am, and yes, now I am ready to get all the way rocked. The question is, are you? Ha! Now, since the calendar counted 2 more days until my New York Film Academy chapter would be starting its mysterious course, little Linda therefore reacted very thrilled to as a next step, jump right into her famous settling in and adjusting process mission at hand, and to afterwards continue her explorations in her newly chosen hometown, and this for the first time out of the perspective of an NYC resident. Woo-hoo! As soon as my refrigerator found itself equipped with all the desired essentials, and then right after my new home sweet home space got decorated and set up to my cozification, my inner adventuress was the one whom I granted my focus next. Oh yeah! Finally, the moment arose for me to further explore Manhattan's vibrating streets and avenues, this even accompanied with little Linda's entire Swiss music collection. Wow! What? Yes! Just a few months prior to my takeoff, the beloved universe kindly brought to my attention that the in the Silicon Valley located Apple company released a very genius music MP3 device called iPod a few years prior. Well, and this information instantly sparked my entire fascination for it, as this cigarette package-sized mini computer found itself able to carry thousands of songs if needed. Wow, and yes, that was needed. Ha! And therefore, I right away went ahead, purchased my, by now, classic considered black iPod at Markt in Winterthur, Zurich, and fed it with every single song that I could find on my Sony Vaio iTunes collection, which count ended somewhere within the early 4000s. Whoops! Wink. Genius, this The three apple tears combination truly revealed itself as for mine in the small apple reproduced vessel during its with Little Linda's music enhanced new Big Apple Living on Earth game adventure creations at hand. Oh yeah! Immediately I therefore discovered that my 2 feet, accompanied with my own shuffled picked soundtrack, blasting through my oracles, turned out to be the perfect New York City exploration match in order to experience its pulsating vibrations and rhythms at hand. Yes, and these moments even more so transformed themselves into quite movie and music clip-like experiences, especially whenever certain songs perfectly melted into alignment with my inner and outer awareness reality check. Wow! And right then, my soul began to fly higher than a kite, fueled by many released adrenaline kicks, whilst little Linda instantly found herself transforming into the leading actress of her right in front of her eyes appearing on head cinema screen. Into what a very happy camper my soul always ended up turning into right then. Yup. As true don't dream your life, live your dream reality confirmations, these moments always revealed themselves as woot woot. Thank you, Mr. Steve Jobs. Thank you for having boosted those Walkman days experiences up into the heavens to where not even the sky's the limit. Love. Now, one of my first discoveries that I found myself quite baffled and astounded about during those 2 Manhattan excursion days revealed themselves with the facts that almost every New Yorker appeared to own one of these magical iPods or another sort of MP3 player invention already. That too, practically everyone therefore chose to hide behind their earbuds, including sunglasses from the outer world, as an ongoing indoors and outdoors retreat habit, and that technology literally seemed to slowly overtake every pedestrian as a next targeted game step. Wow! And yes, the latter definitely struck my soul the most, as from where my vessel just zoomed in from, I actually happened to only be used to experience this kind of scenario associated with a workout routine. That was about it. Here, this new to me phenomena appeared to play an essential part of New York City's culture and lifestyle habit, with which my soul, of course, instantly resonated with, and as a next step adapted as her new way of getting into the exploration groove. Oh yeah. Being surrounded by music, after all, is part of little Linda's normality ever since that to her very special mid-1970s May Day, and therefore reliably throws her right into this lovely, super happy comfort zone reality whenever exposed to. Ha, that's right. Then, after the completion of my quite impressive first 2 days settling inquest, June 5th, 2006 finally brought along my long-awaited New York Film Academy orientation opening moment, which attracted another about 200 registered and curious acting and filmmaking students from all over the world to its, at the Union Square, located headquarters. Woohoo! Action, let's go! As soon as all the needed information flow got exchanged and the registration process was completed, every one-year student then kindly got asked to relocate themselves to their then in Soho existing location, as all their classes took place down there. With the arrival of everyone's vessel in their assigned classrooms, the moment then finally arose as well, during which I got introduced to all my fellow acting classmates. Well, and I must admit that this happening unraveled itself as another quite astonishing reality check as the entire class count for this first time ever in June starting NIFA acting program contained a total of 12 souls only. What? Wow. Did my vessel somehow just get transported back to Zurich again? LOL. And alongside with these news, little Linda then right away also was given one of her very first boot camp tasks from its itinerary at hand, which, as already in Charlotte experienced, turned out to be the all-time lovely age difference challenge. Yep, here we go again. Welcome back to the other planet, smile. Soon I therefore came to learn that 10 out of my newly introduced friends' vessels entered into this earthy sphere within the time span of 18 to 24 years ago, which reality check thankfully left little Linda with student number 11, whose days count actually ended up matching the exact same amount as hers. What? Yes, and with exact, I do mean exact, literally. Same day, same year, starting out point, India. Boom. How crazy is that, right? This storyline actually gets even a little bit crazier. Ready? Sweet. Our both souls already happen to become aware of this super interesting coincidence spectacle during our NIFA orientation occasion. Yup. Right after I completed my registration process, I then, as directed, instantly went ahead up to the 3rd floor in order to grab a seat in the already quite packed auditorium. Once my eyes detected a great empty bench seat right next to the wall to my left, I decided to occupy it immediately and found myself sitting next to another girl's vessel. Well, and as it so happens, once many strangers are amongst one another, the two of our souls certainly began to chit-chat as well during this waiting period at hand, and you probably already might be guessing who this neighbor of mine turned out to be, my dear co-traveler. Exactly, my birthday twin, a fellow Kylie Minogue Gemini. Ha! This reality check certainly revealed itself as quite a mind-blowing experience to the both of our souls. Wow! Imagine a room filled with so many other vessels, and our boths happen to be placed right next to one another's. Wow! 2 girls, same birthday, same year, same acting dream, same starting date, including class. Boom! Impressing, I indeed found little Linda by then. And even more so about the knowledge of having been granted this specific Gemini soul along of my acting dream travels. Well, at least for right now. Yup. Since the ticking of my Living on Earth game boot camp adventure already began its countdown course, the beloved universe therefore certainly needed to make sure to present little Linda with its preset and ongoing challenging curriculum, and continued its magical mission by getting my birthday twin pregnant with her second baby aboard. Boom, boom, baby, boom. And gone her vessel out of the blue was after an acting period of about 8 weeks. Bye-bye. Bummer. With my twin's disappearance, I, as a result, instantly found myself anew in this rather unused and uncomfortable situation of either being surrounded by the teachers quite older and by my remaining classmates' younger vessels during each class. Oh no, not again, is what little Linda certainly kept on remarking, and further found herself wondering why this phenomenon seemed to chase her ungrowingly within this Living on Earth game ride of hers. Well, it surely seems to me by now that my soul must have chosen this kind of experiencing pattern for some kind of, to me, interesting growth and expansion reasons, or that sort of thing. One day I am certain of little Linda will be presented with the answers at its perfect now moment. Until then, I shall simply remain exploring, observing, learning, expanding, growing, and connecting all these many appearing dots for my own life puzzle at hand, I guess. Yup, and so little Linda will. One of the next challenges that my soul came to face turned out to be the reality check that one, basically all my remaining classmates just got granted their very first opportunity ever to two, explore their own existence as freshly graduated high school and college students from every desired angle, as wild and free as they desired for it to be. And this, three, far away from their usual home sweet home parenting base, just about the same way as little Linda found herself experiencing it during her delightful Geneva housekeeping school adventure 1.5 decades ago. Boom. What? That long already? Bwah. Wink. Well, and this newly discovered freedom certainly kept on reflecting in their overall attendance and work ethic during the months to come, which one, on the other hand, I found my soul understanding theirs very much so. How could one, after all, blame them, after being placed in this perfectly created playground, which allows so much room for any heart-desired explorations and thrilling living on Earth game adventure creations to choose from, and this 24/7. That's right. The city with its many wonderful and tempting distraction choices is how I perceive the Big Apple as of today. Oh yeah. And not a few reality checks that our each thus far life toolbox ingredient collection comparison brought along with unraveled themselves with the facts that one, the outside of our classroom-based exploration interests, discussion topics, and the other overall fun fact creation interpretation varied a tiny tad from little Linda's usual loves, that too, she therefore oftentimes caught herself thinking, been there, done that, bzzz. Whenever her vessel got placed amongst theirs, the three, all doors to any available bars and dance clubs remained exploration occasions, remained regarding of almost everyone's underage status as closed for a little while longer, and lastly, with four, money in general quickly introduced itself as the reliable fun fact party pooper in the crowd. Boo! There you go. And all these many added up truths therefore had me realize quite soon that once more the time had arrived for little Linda to bravely continue her many never-ending adventure creations on her own, as she already practiced it right after her Yoshi and Hitoshi road trip trial 1 exact decade ago, by further making use of her all-time helpful and magical positivity card, Abracadabra. During my newly created Finding a Like-Minded Soul quest, I therefore even more so intensified my already prior initiated scanning attempts of all the other available Soho NIFA students at hand for a possible deeper connection opportunity, which option quickly started to fade away as well. Bummer. Very soon, my soul came to realize that every filmmaking vessel already got bombarded with a Monday through Sunday filled classes and shooting schedule, and that two, all the other prior started few fellow same-aged acting student candidates already found themselves very well equipped with either a bestie and or with an over the past 3 to 6 months formed strong class cohesion. Oof, this whole connecting and belonging mission truly started to reveal itself as quite a bit more complicated than initially assumed in the City of Angels 1 year ago. Its avoidance, after all, showed up as the number one reason as of why little Linda considered the Big Apple as her possible home sweet home acting dream study location after almost being defeated again. Well, there clearly must exist a very good reason for this reoccurring bumper, as the magical universe, after all, guided my vessel into this the other planet adventure. That's right. It really seems to be by now that this connecting and belonging task did play a very important role in my further own growth and expansion process at hand, and that too, the location of my studies actually ended up being secondary. What? And yes, this reality awareness check would have been quite helpful to have come across earlier, as little Linda's magical acting dream S-Express train therefore could have dropped her vessel off in her original La Hollywood Land Cali dream and envisioned destination instead. Oh man. Now, as I after all believe that everything always happens for a good reason, my inner adventuress, as a next step, as usual, went ahead, accepted things for what they were, and decided to simply keep on pushing forward with all the newly attracted elements at hand. Alrighty, let's go then. Even though that I always tried my best to ensure to keep little Linda as much of a happy camper as possible by spoiling her with many of her favorite fun fact choices, her urge and desire to finally get to meet a like-minded soul in crime with whom she could be sharing all the many inner and outer experienced Big Apple living on Earth game adventure creations with, by further being enabled to even happily giggle at the world as a unit, certainly kept on growing with every passing week. Yup. A few times I actually found myself getting quite close for this desired bonding procedure to occur. However, these opportunities usually ended up missing the for its actual clicking needed last 2 or 3 magical elements, and therefore the search had to go on. Bye-bye. Besides my own initiated entertainment creation choices outside of the classroom environment, I therefore at some point decided to slowly begin to accept these incoming NIFA hanging out invitations anew, as being surrounded by their familiar vessels meanwhile started to invoke those soothing home feelings within my own. Even though that these connecting and belonging opportunity choices failed in the sense of hitting little Linda's spot the way that she really loved it, I forced her to at least give the selected situations a fair trial and to make it work somehow. One never knows after all, right? Right. Head over heart, here we go, I guess. Smile. Staying positive and as open as possible remained as my usual game plan choices at hand, which results mostly welcomed my reality anew with the never-ending truths of finding myself, one, being uncomfortable, bored with where my vessel got placed in, and that two, little Linda seemed to ungrowingly apply the wrong keys in order to shift those opportunities back towards her happy state of heart desire. And that is how my very dear and loyal travel companion, Mr. Loneliness, welcomed himself with its this time very loud and joyous "Surprise! I am home!" announcement back into my newly created reality again. Oh no, here he was again, and this even though I prior eagerly tried my best to get rid of his existence once and for all, as little Linda truly disliked this very uncomfortable and all-time low vibrating effect that his presence caused to her soul. Ouch. Go away. The stronger his appearance grew, the more I therefore kept on pulling my beloved positivity card, which to my surprise at some point slowly started to lose all of its magical and helping powers. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. Help? Anybody? Please. Well, and the most useful help in that particular now moment probably would have been the update for little Linda on the truth that her core, the other planet life toolbox ingredient lesson, simultaneously to Mr. Loneliness's appearance, already began to run its ongoing course in this colorful concrete jungle boot camp adventure chapter of hers. What? What are you talking about? Well, let's just dive into it, my beloved co-traveler, shall we? Splash. This core, the other planet life toolbox ingredient lesson, out of my 1 decade later dog connecting opportunity exercise delivered conclusion revealed itself into my awareness as the management of a to my soul preciously granted infinite abundance of time gift, which she exclusively gets to share with Linda wartenweiler on a different planet, far away from her usual accessible comfort zone reality exit door opportunity. Boom. That's right. What a genius game plan this move on the chessboard simply turned out to be in retrospective. Ha, indeed. Wait, though, what exactly was little Linda supposed to gain out of this from the magical universe delivered generous abundance of time gift with my own self? Well, let's find out then. Wink. Yes, we will find out more about it tomorrow. Yes, that's it for today. Yes, that's the beginning of the beginning. Yes, and I want to remind you we're still focusing on the outside world, not the inner world yet. So that's going to be very interesting once we connect to those thoughts, what happened outside, inside, and all of that. It's really, really interesting. So hold on tight, stay tuned. Yes, and I will leave you now. And hope to see you soon again. All right. Have a wonderful rest of the day, evening, week, whatever is ahead of you. All right. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated to have you here. All right. I'm going to get up with you today and I'm waving you goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.